This video will cover the rest of the 3-corner 3x3 lookalikes. The first few cases in this video all have that lightning bolt look that the cases at the end of the previous video had. Only for these few, you only have one set of unsolved 1x2s. The previous one had like two, or had at least two. It's sort of like the difference between the wide suits and this OLL, even though they both have the lightning bolt shape. So for these first two, you put this 2x2 in the top, and this case has a 1x2 on the left, and this one has a 1x2 on the right. So for this case, the Alg is, and for this case, the Alg is. These two cases look like the previous two bolts, but instead of the 2x2 block being on the top, you have it on the side for these two cases. And when you put it when you align it to the top corner, then you have this edge pointing right in this case, and you have it pointing left in this case. So the Alg for this is, and the Alg for this is. These two cases also look like the previous bolts, but these two have 4 corners unsolved instead of 3. And the way you tell the difference between these two cases is that here the unsolved 1x2 is middle left, and here it's middle right. So I'll start with this case. The Alg is from this angle and goes like this. And the Alg for this is from this angle, it goes like this. These next 6 Algs all look like the 3x3 OLL that has a similar Alg to the T-perm. It's this one, which goes like this. So for these first 4, you have pretty much the same pattern. The next 2 have like same pattern but different number of corners, so I'll get into that later. So anyways, these have the right number of corners and look very, very similar. It's kind of hard to tell them apart, but one way to do it is if you consider this 1x2 that's unsolved and this block, you'll see that these two top cases have the unsolved 1x2 right next to the block, and then these two have it further away. So that's the way you tell the difference. And to go further, I guess if you put the 2x2 block on the top, then this has a right pointing edge, and then this has a left pointing edge, and the same idea for these two. So moving on to the Algs, I'll start with this one in the back. This is 1x2 close to 2x2 and has a right pointing edge. This is just the 3x3 Alg, so it goes like this. Now here is the mirror of the previous, so you have block and close 1x2. You put the block in the bottom left and do. Now for these two cases, the 1x2 is further away, and I'll start with this case. The Alg is basically a 3x3 one. Kind of varies which one you use, but the Alg I use goes like this. Most of there are multiple 3x3 Algs for that case, and I think most of them should be able to transfer over as long as you change some U2s into U2 primes or whatever needs to be done there. And for the mirror, this one you can use just like a back version of the previous one, but I use this Megaminx specific one, which goes like this. These two cases look like the previous 4, but these two have 4 corners unsolved instead of 3. And then for differentiating between these two cases, if you put the 3 solved edges in the top left, you'll have a unsolved 1x2 here in this case, and then in this case it's in the right. Here it's on the left. And the Alg for this case goes like this. and the alg for this case is a combination of two OLLs, which I find to be faster than a mirror or a back version of the previous alg.